What up, everybody? Let's continue where we left off yesterday. Hey, so um, we were in the walled city. We had to deliver a message from the Triad Lady to Strangle Bow, which we did, uh, stealthily, which is nice. And we were just going back to kindly to pick up our reward, I guess, but we were having our SINs burned. So let's see where that'll take us tonight. I'm very curious. Okay, we can kind of run back now. Here? What? Oh, okay, sure. This is still the walled city, of course. I get it now. Okay. Can I leave here? Okay. I had to leave through a different... Let's talk to her. Is it done? It's done. Thank you so much. I'm not magically active, so I can't see the flow of key in the area, but I've got test strips, little sheets of paper embedded with key-sensitive bacteria. It's a close relative of FAB, but it doesn't seem much use outside of Hong Kong. Damn it. I've been making adjustments for weeks now trying to get the key to circulate better, and nothing seems to work. If anything, this one went bad even faster than the control strips I took when I got here. Any idea why? No, it should work. I followed the text, done everything right. The key here is rancid, that's obvious, but I swear it's even worse than it should be. No wonder this place is so disgusting. That's it, I'm getting out of here. In a little while. Gotta tell my advisor about this. Thanks for the help. Hope you don't stay long. I sure as hell won't. Okay, now why can I leave this place? Oh shit. We told you to get lost, you didn't listen. I'm thinking that you need to be taught a lesson. No, that's not what I wanted. Back up a little. Yo, what up? No, I think I overmodded Witcher a bit, and it didn't run very well. So I can't seem to leave here. And I'm afraid, might have hit a bug. Can't leave this area. 2 is the magic number. Load us den. Maybe I should exit through here. Those guards are still out there. The same guards that kindly doesn't want us killing. We should probably go the way we came in. Yeah, okay, sure, but that's locked up tight. He doesn't want to talk to us anymore. So, okay. So how do we get out of this place? This one doesn't work. Rooftops. It's cool. Besides, the, the fact that we ran into this bug now, it seems. I almost died in the tutorial as well, so that's great. Oh shit. Hello, sir. It won't let us leave. It won't let us leave. Nice. See you guys Thursday, man. Have fun. Uh, let's see if we can we access the workshop from here? Let's see. World, city, stuck. I went back over the entire route, made sure to talk to every merchant and loiterer around, and in general poked my nose into everything. I have no idea what it was that did it, but when I got back to the exit again I could access it. I had something like this happen too once, quitting the program entirely and reloading fixed it, though it was a long time ago, maybe a different problem. Restart the game. Interesting. Um. This then. The hell is this? Slap patch. Current fixes. Abilities and attacks. Items and cyberware. Cheats. Start a new game. I want to start a new game. What the hell, man? We can talk to someone maybe. Talk to her. Well, not in this. Done. You're doing it wrong. Getting out of here. Nope. Okay, that's a bummer. Don't really feel like starting a new game, to be honest. Talk to that merchant again. Okay, stand this place. Go around. That's a baddie. Local. Anyone in trouble, boss? Please just leave me be. Sorry. How did we run into a progression stopping bug already? The yellow lotus on first glance as if you can see the outline of the old man's dreads taken in his vest pocket. Ah, crap. I don't want to do this. Screw the job. Maybe we can progress now? So we didn't. There's no load before the... This is my own load. Blind? Running Steam as admin. Restarting the level. Restart level. Can try. Confirm. Sure. See if this changed some things around. Later, lady. Okay, let's do this again for the karma. Let's fix this. Now quickly, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we should just run through the mission to see if this fixes the bug we ran into. Let's do that instead. I have to do the hacking though. We'll leave you be for now. This. Do it on the way back. Bypass the panel. Check in. Oh shit. Are you kidding me? Ow. Okay, let's hack this shit. Great start. Okay, we got this one. Unlock the hatch. God damn it. We're fucked. Oh, crap. We did a lot better last time. Hello? Oh shit. That's one way to do it. Load is then access codes. Okay, so let's now head back. Check out. To the den. And we'll do a hard save right before the talk. So right about now. Wait, I can't. Oh, okay. Go save. Game saved. We knew the code from last time. We'll rush through this dialogue. Get out. Okay. And now we'll head back. And now it does work. Okay. So now we want to finish that side objective real quick. Oh. I think one was over here somewhere. Maybe not. Could be taken. Gunrunner. Who's you? So at least we know we can get through the exit now. Nice firearms here, good for protection. You got a husband or a wife, you got kids, you keep them safe with one of these beauties. Quality is guaranteed, your satisfaction is everything. You wanna buy? Ever heard anyone say prosperity is in the walled city? You're an organ lagger or a gun runner or a triad, there sure as shit is. Otherwise, you're looking at a hand-to-mouth, meal-to-meal existence here. Show me what you got. Okay. So he's just your typical gun vendor. No thanks, gotta run. What? Do we have the access codes? Broken water shut-off valve. So we don't have this code. Apparently. Should be a water valve here somewhere, though. Let's race through. There it is. Duncan, can you give me a hand? He can. He fixes it. Head back upstairs. Fix this as well. Get karma. Back to the lower levels. Let's see if the exit still works. Looks like it does. Wu holds up his hand for everyone to stop, turns to the two of you and hooks his thumbs in his belt. Well, that was a thing. Never thought I'd be shuttling messages between criminals in a Hong Kong syndicate. I can't imagine what Raymond would have wanted in a walled city. This place just feels wrong. Must have been important. He flew all the way here, hired Runner for an escort. But why? This place makes you feel like your life has no value. Like there's just no point to anything. Great life you have here. I can't believe it. We actually delivered on these messages without anyone dying. Had enough of triads. Let's get out of this pit. I'm with you, Guncho. I don't need to see this place ever again. Guncho, seriously? That's not gonna stick, is it? Return. Okay. So we managed to circumvent that bug this time around. It's hard to shake off the walled city. Its gravity clings to you as if wretchedness itself has grown tentacles. The sounds of suffering subside, but their echoes still thrum your insides. Isabel walks quickly, regularly checking over her shoulder as if expecting pursuit from the building themselves. She hugs her cyber deck to her chest as if protecting a small child. Wu pauses a moment and breathes a sigh of relief when you finally reach the streets. But returning to Heo isn't like coming home. Suspicious looks and closed mouths accent unsmiling faces that billboard a universal message. You don't belong here. Time to report back to Kindly Cheng and inform her that the message has been delivered. Get this business over with. Get your SIN burned. Get on to the next step, whatever that is. You leave the City of Darkness behind, head to the lodging parlor, and a date with the crime lord. Okay. Okay. And auto-saved. So I guess we're going to save, do a hard save as well. We're gonna have a lot of save games. And we still need to spend our karma. BT dubs. Do that after we talk to Kindly Cheng. Let's go inside. Kindly Cheng. There you are. Kindly Cheng watches you closely as you walk across the mahjong parlor. As you approach her, Lieutenant leans in, brings her mouth close to the Triad's boss's ear. Cheng smiles and nods, her eyes never leaving you. Heard from Bao. He's got my message, very clearly. And I understand that there were no casualties created during your little delivery run. I am pleased and surprised. Oof. The choices, though. I get that a lot. Do you? Perhaps your bravado is warranted. We'll see. My message was delivered and Strangler Bao is back in the fold, earning for me. As far as I'm concerned, our transaction is complete. While you were gone, I set the wheels in motion to wipe your identities. She pulls out her PDA, stabs a button with a lacquered fingernail. The order has been sent. Congratulations, you're now SIN-less. Shadow people. Wu exhales heavily. His eyes remain focused straight ahead, but his shoulders sag. Well, I guess that's done. Yeah, I guess so, but I'm not. Wu pulls himself up to his full height. Whoever gave the kill order on Carter also forced us to give up our identities, and took Raymond. Wu sets his jaw firm. That's all I can think about, finding who did this, finding Ray. While I was working to get your SINs burned, I also had my network look into Raymond Black's disappearance. I've been thinking about what you told me earlier, and I agree. I can't just let this lie. Someone killed my runners. It would be a sign of weakness to the Yellow Lotus and the others if I do nothing. She rests the PDA on the mahjong table facing you. The Tride's boss tongue slips from her mouth as she looks over the top, hunting for the right button on its upside-down interface. I have news to share with you, my darlings. The kind you won't like. Raymond Black's dead. Raymond's photograph appears on the screen behind a reporter standing on the docks in Victoria Harbour. It's a picture you've seen before. Professional portrait taken for a press release about a youth centre he was opening in the Redmond Barrens. Under Raymond's photo are the words, Seattle man killed. Another shooting involving the police department. A Seattle community organizer and industrial engineer was apparently shot and killed while resisting arrest at Victoria Harbour last night. HKPF police report that the UCAS man, Raymond Black, was behaving erratically and would not respond to police orders to surrender. No additional information regarding Black or why he was traveling to Hong Kong are available. Police have stated that due to the shooting's proximity to the last night's shootout with the White Star, the investigation must remain confidential and no other details are being revealed at this time. Glenn Chang taps the button again and the video closes. This just keeps getting worse. Alright, Auntie, that was news I did not like. Raymond's dead. Isabel reaches out to touch Wu, thinks better of it, and pulls back her hand. Sorry for your loss. I've never had a father, so I don't know what it's like to lose one, but sorry. Raymond dies the same night we're ambushed. That's no coincidence. No fucking way. I'm afraid that's not all, my darlings. This is security footage from Victoria Harbour last night. You'll find it contains a contradiction. Ooh. The PDA shows silent, grainy video footage of Raymond sitting in a tea shop flanked by two guards. He's looking down at something in his hand, completely distracted. Footage continues and the camera displays several black-clad figures entering its field of view from different angles, guns ready. A tall, sharply dressed man in a suit walks briskly towards Raymond, flanked by two more. Raymond stands to face him and the camera gets a clear view of the suit's face, white plastic. His guards turn to draw weapons and muzzle flashes erupt from all sides. One of Raymond's guards goes down and his submachine gun fires wildly, hitting the camera. Those weren't cops, and Raymond wasn't resisting arrest. What's with the guy's face? Is that a mask? Doesn't look like a mask, it looked like some sort of semi-rigid plastic implant. Real craftsmanship. Quite a fashion accessory. Those are the kind of fashion accessory that stands out in the crowd. This guy's either a fool or an arrogant son of a bitch. Either way, I'm gonna find him. I believe you. What now? We stay in the shadows. We don't, we're dead too. True, but how? I'm afraid here are some facts you are going to have to face. There are some facts. You're alone in this country, no network, no money, no identity. I can protect you from the police, but how would you survive in the shadows? Had a very long night, my sweets. Very long. And frankly, you all look like shit. Rest now. I promise you safety in my town for the night. We'll talk about the plastic-faced man tomorrow. Ladies, go find our new friends a place to bed down in that rat's nest squat boat you call home. We'll all talk after you've slept. Figure out our next steps together. Yes, Auntie. Yes, Auntie. Thanks for your help, Auntie. Of course, my sweet. What are friends for? And we're in with a triad. Okay, so first, can I spend my karma? Yes, I can. Ooh, new etiquette. That's cool. We're a Shadowrunner now. 2 more points. Eh. Can dodge physical attacks. But confirm. And let's get to the boat. And have a little nap, because we've earned it. Get some sleep. Get some sleep. Okay. You two can bunk here for a while. You've each got a head to take care of your necessities. Try to knock before you enter someone else's, okay? Seriously. I know the drill. Stinks of fish, just like that place we squatted at on Leary Avenue back when we were kids. The one with the Aslan family and a dog. I remember it being a dump. I don't know, they managed to make that place pretty comfortable for a while. Until the 162s decided that they wanted it. It's too bad, they were good people. Nobody should go out that way. I think I've been up for something like 36 hours straight. And this has been one shit stain of a day. Time to end it. Anything you need before I leave you to it? Is it just you and Isabel living here? Yeah. Now that Nigel and Gunshot are gone, it's just us. And a creepy Russian guy renting the engine room downstairs. Nothing to worry about. He mostly keeps to himself. He'll stop soon. He's usually quiet by now. Think I'll have a look around. Okay, but get some sleep soon. You look like you could use it. We'll go see Kindly in the morning. Figure out our next move. Can I go downstairs? Stairs? Can I go to the engine room? Hello? Come back later, pal, I'm busy. I'm sorry. Stop it. Patch is just back up. Let's talk later. Stash. I got nothing. Toko. Let's hit the hay, I guess. Go to sleep. The moment your head hits the pillow, exhaustion sets in. You can barely keep your eyes open. Sleep washes over you like a warm bath, and everything goes black. What? Dream is suffocating. The shifting tunnel of glass and steel, the towering silhouette of dark majesty, the shadowy doorway, and the teeth. They snap at your heels as you claw your way back to consciousness. You open your eyes to Duncan looming over you. He shakes your shoulder roughly. Mikolas! Come on, Mikolas, wake up! We gotta go talk to Kindly. The others have already left. That was one rough night. He lets go of your shoulder, cocks a thumb at the hatch. We gotta go. I've been trying to wake you for a while now. You were thrashing around in your sleep. Thrashing around? Yeah, you were clawing at the air. Clawing, huh? Did I say anything? Nah, you just mumbled a bit. Nothing I could make out. I didn't sleep well either. Bad dream. What about? I never remember our dreams all that well. It was probably motion sickness, not used to sleeping on a boat. I woke up a little while ago and hit the head. Then I came back. Then I came back and woke you. You doing okay? I'll survive, but man, nothing's gonna go right since we stepped foot in this country. I'll tell you something though, and this is after a full night's sleep. I don't believe Ray's dead. I hope you're right, but I gotta say, it doesn't look good. I'm right, think about it. That statement from the cops on the newscast should be fake, could be fake. Ours was. And that surveillance footage, we never saw Raymond get shot. The camera was hit by stray gunfire. His passion is intense but contained, focused. Raymond's alive, Nicholas. I know it. So what do you want to do now? I don't know. Wait for a lead to turn up, I guess. He smiles. His teeth are white and straight and perfect. I'm just a muscle, remember? You're the brains of this outfit, just like when we were kids. God, I feel like I'm 12 years old again, squatting on a stinking trawler. My partner's gone, Raymond's gone, hell, I'm gone. I don't even have a name anymore. And now I can't even go to sleep and hide it from all without having a nightmare. What else is gonna be taken away from me? Nothing. It's time for us to turn the tables, do some taking of our own. Heard that term before. What are you talking about, Nicholas? Isn't it obvious? Look around. We're SI analysts, living in the shadows, dealing with criminals. He was silent for a moment. All you got is a blank expression. You're thinking of becoming a Shadowrunner. What do you think that jaunt in the walled city was? He crosses his arms. It was a test. The triad one was testing us. Shadowrunners. Oh man. I have to think about this. This isn't the way it's supposed to be. I'm supposed to be a cop. You get to keep your gun, that's something. Don't mess with me, man. Gobbett and Isabel left a while ago. We should get going too. See what the triad lady has to say. Sure. Sure. Ooh. To the waterfront. Back to the mahjong parlor. Kindly Chang. Kindly's place reeks of steel cigar smoke and fresh urine. The clicking of mahjong tiles is strangely absent. In its place is a low murmur of laughter and an air of eager anticipation. All eyes are focused on the groaning figure kneeling bloody and bound at the feet of Kindly Chang. Oh shit. She beckons to him with her finger and he struggles towards her, the loud rustling of the plastic tarp crackling under his knees as he moves. His pants are wet with fear. A torch lies on the table at Chang's right hand. Kindly Chang ignores the scene. She behaves as if all is right in the world. How did you sleep, my little ones? Fine, thanks. What's with the guy on the floor? She indicates the kneeling man with an incline of her nose. Shitbird here is a plainclothes cop. He snuck into the area last night while you were sleeping, hoping to find you and kill you before his competition got to you first. My men found him outside the trawler you were sleeping on. They saw to it that your rest was undisturbed and that your location remained a mystery. You can thank Mr. Bao for that. Nodded Stranger Bao. Bao inclines his head, 1/4 of an inch. Now, shitbird, tell my friends here what you told me. I don't know anything. I swear, we just got the orders last night. Somebody high up wants these two dead. The whole department is on it. I don't know anything else. Someone from high up? How high? The cop looks up at her, looks around at the room filled with triad soldiers. One of them opens his coat and shows the cop something inside. He closes it slowly and winks. All the way up. It's someone on the council. Someone on the executive council wants these two dead? Fuck your ancestors to the 18th generation. Give me the truth. Oh. It's the truth, madam, I swear it. Whoever it was labeled them as terrorists, which would terminate with extreme prejudice. Kindly Cheng shuffles closer to the kneeling cop, reaches down and strokes his head with her hand. She then slowly digs her fingers into his scalp. She pulls back hard until his chin points high. The tried boss leans in close and searches his eyes with her own. That's all he's got. She lets go of his head and smooths his bust-cut hair with her hand. For whatever reason, last night someone on the Executive Council of the Free Enterprise Zone ordered the Hong Kong police force to kill two nobodies from Seattle. I find it fascinating, don't you? Yes, but why the need to label us international terrorists? Propriety, my darling. When the government has someone gunned down, they prefer to make it appear justified. The people feel safer when their murders feel like part of civilization. My, but you have definitely fallen into the deep end of the pool. Seattle isn't like Hong Kong. There, the megacorps control the government. Here, the cops are the government. The Exec Council is chosen by the Corporate Board of Governors. They're basically the legislative and executive branches of the Hong Kong government in one tiny package. 8 people call all the shots, neat and efficient. For the wage slaves and the civilian sheep, the corporations are a pantheon of gods who wield absolute power. But not for us. Who else knows about my guest's visit to Heo, shitbird? No one, madam. I hadn't called it in yet. I wanted the kill for myself. No one knows they're here, I swear it. Mr. Bao? He's telling the truth. No outgoing calls on his PDA. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Rip. In one smooth motion, Strangler Bao produces a silenced pistol, fires it once into the policeman's head, and replaces it in his jacket. His face never changes expression. Looks like the triads can be just as efficient. Yes, my darling. It is clear our friend Raymond Black was up to something involving the walled city, something having to do with prosperity. And this executive council member wanted Raymond dead for it. Now, they want you dead for it too. This plastic-faced man may show up on your door one day too. I have a proposal for you. Work for me. With Nigel and Gut shot dead, I find myself with 2 job openings. Fill them. I have need of deniable assets here. Players unaffiliated with the Triads, who can take care of some of the more unsavory business needs about town. You've proven yourself resourceful, and you have no existing connections here. That can be a positive in this line of work. Shadowrunners. In exchange, I will keep you safe from pests like this one. You'll have safe harbor here in my town and a steady source of income. And while you dip your toe into the waters of corporate espionage, organized crime, and clandestine mercenary actions, I will employ my network to find the plastic-faced man and gather information about Raymond Black. Where he's been, who he's talked to, who stood to gain from his death, what his prosperity could be. You're putting out a lot of effort to help prepare foreigners. Not foreigners, my sweet, valued business associates. I need to learn who killed one of my clients and then order the cops to execute my team of Shadowrunners. This is a brazen disregard of my power. Fate dictates it must be confronted or I stand to lose everything. So how would the arrangement work? I find the right jobs for people with your talents. You do what our clients cannot do for themselves. I take a finder's fee and a small percentage of your earnings. You make a lot of yen very quickly. It's all very civilized. Work with me. Allow me to help you make money, let my network work for you, and help you find out what you've gotten yourselves into. Without my help, you won't last a day out there. You are completely out of your depth, I'm afraid. You need a partner. Kindly Cheng will be your partner. It was just like you said, Mikolas. Shadowrunners. Glad I had some time to think about it. Process. Ah, fuck it. I'm not a cop anymore. That guy's dead. I'm in. What about you? I'm in too. Didn't have anything back home anyway. Yeah, you might want to ask yourself why someday. Ouch. Okay, I'm in, but this is a temporary situation for me. Raymond is alive, I'm sure of it. So I'll run the shadows as long as Auntie Cheng keeps per end of the bargain and helps us figure out what really happened to him. Then, I'm gonna find my father. And it's done. Hale is now open to you. First order of business, my pal here has already chosen a street name. But Duncan Wu doesn't exist anymore. You'll need one too. Yeah, okay, I'll think of something. I think we already got you covered, gun show. Hits, doesn't it? Indeed. I knew that was gonna stick. It has stuck. Gobert, Isabel will handle this the same way we did with all your previous work. All the jobs I line up for you will be sent to your computer on the squad boat. I got it. Why him? It's a simple process of elimination. Isabel isn't the leader type. You get that, right? As for Gobert, let's just say Gobert doesn't have a head for business. There's Gunshow. The jury's out on Mr. Gunshow. Meaning there's a lot going on within that head of yours right now, and I'm not sure I can trust you. So I'm in charge because I'm the best of the worst. Oh my sweet, don't put it that way. We're the most equipped for the role. She's making sense. You're the right person for this. Nice. Gonna be weird calling you a pal again. I haven't called you since we were kids. Guess this is our new crew. Welcome to the Shadows. We're Shadowrunners now. Put that on light real quick. Jesus. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right hand corner of the screen will open the crew advancement menu where when this icon is highlighted, one or more of your companions is eligible to learn a new combat skill. At each advancement level you may choose one of two possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Okay. Goblet spent some more time at the firing range, increasing our ranged combat skill and SMG specialization by 1. Goblet's red. Oh, okay. So here's one have a breakaway, but I'm a shaman too, right? So go with the ranged combat. Isabel, sabotage. Isabel's grenade launcher can now fire remote mines, which can be triggered to detonate at will. Isabel gets a Tar Blaster 1.0 program, an upgraded version of Blaster that also sticks enemies in place for 1 round. Duncan, Lethal Force. Duncan gains an assault rifle ability that fires a single shot of incendiary ammo. Does an additional 2 damage and pierces up to 2 armor. Or crowd control. Duncan gains a rifle ability that does 2 AP damage and imbalances targets, making them easier to hit on subsequent attacks. This ability cannot do critical damage. That could be useful. For crowd control. Okay. So back to the boat. There's the computer. There's the hatch down, I think. Rector. It's oppressively hot down here, and the air is full of synthetic odors that grab you by the sinuses and refuse to let go. You can smell engine grease and melting plastic, ionized air and lead solder. A quick scan of the room tells you why. The downstairs tenant has converted the space into a machine shop. Metal fabrication tools and Duraplast extruders line the walls, and a pair of heavy industrial manipulators hang from the ceiling. A man in a black trench coat stands with his back to you, staring at a monitor mounted above a sturdy workbench. He addresses you without turning. Ah, I was wondering when I'd meet a new neighbor. Please stay where you are. I'll be with you in just a moment, and unless you fancy an unplanned trip to Chrome Alley, don't touch anything. There are all manners of tools in here that could take your hand clean off. Your time, I won't touch anything. Ah, you're very kind. Thank you. The feed on the monitor looks like some sort of design software. You can see what appears to be a slim, spidery appendage in orthographic and perspective views. Very good. Yes, it's coming along nicely. Very nicely indeed. He turns towards you smiling, and for the first time you can see his face. He has broadly handsome Slavic features and a chiseled jaw. His eyes are like flecks of ice. So sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. You're too kind. Now let's tell me, what can I do for... Voice trails off as a flash of motion catches his eye. With alarming speed, a sinister-looking drone scuttles out from under the work table. Its movements are surprisingly agile and fluid. The machine rears back menacingly, spreading its forelegs in a clear sign of aggression. Please don't mind the drone. He can be territorial, but so long as you remain civil, he will not bite. Rector. My mechanical counterpart here is called Cochet. A pleasure. I am very pleased to meet you, my friend. In a community such as Heo, it's important to be on good terms with one's neighbor. Agreed. Very well. This morning's casting should be cooling for a few minutes yet. Let's time enough to talk. You said this morning's casting, what did you mean? Exactly what I said. A casting that I made of a new locomotive assembly for Cochet. A biometric design, as you can see. This one is inspired by the walking legs of a decapod crustacean. The mangrove crab, to be specific. And will this new leg assembly make your drone more effective? That remains to be seen, but there's more to life than combat effectiveness. There's more to life than combat effectiveness, is there not? By fabricating new components for Cochet, I unlock options, different ways of being. Even the failures, and there have been many, have value in its context. How did you learn to do all this? More training and experience than I care to mention. Drone architecture was once my profession, you see. Now it's more of a calling, one that I'm free to pursue, now that I've freed myself from the shackles of corporate servitude. Got some interesting machinery in here. The same could be said of many in Hale, I'm sure. This is a smuggler's den, is it not? Our entire economy is based upon people having things that they shouldn't. Is there a particular device that interests you, out of curiosity? Robotic arms? Good guess, that's precisely what they are. They fell off a boat, as you might say. They weren't cheap, but I acquired them and I had them mounted to the walls of my shop. I simply had to have them. The return on investment has been dramatic. Yes, they're cruder by far than the Waldo devices that I used in my professional life, but they still do their job and they are mine. They have increased my fabrication capabilities nearly tenfold, and that, to me, is worth any price. Cochet is an interesting name for a drone. Yes, I suppose it is. Not many riggers would name their most prized possession after a villain from a fairy tale. And not my Hercules, I suppose. Yes, I know the story you're talking about. Oh, how marvelous. I hadn't thought to meet anyone versed in the Russian classics here in Hale. I've studied. If memory serves, Cochet the Deathless was an immortal villain and a kidnapper of women. Indeed, he was those things, but it was not Cochet's misdeeds that drew me to the name. I suppose it was the notion of immortality through cleverness that resonated with me. There was something to be learned from that, I was sure. And so when it came time to name my beloved creation, his was the first name that came to mind. And is your drone deathless, like its namesake? In a manner of speaking, I suppose that he is. I have redundant copies of every single piece of his architecture, and his core programming is stored on disk in a secret location. Should he ever suffer critical damage, I can easily bring him back. I had a plan once to automate the self-repair process. I must confess it was really quite ingenious, but alas, my research was lost. One day I will reclaim it, and Cochet will become as deathless as his stories claim. But it will not be today. So whose payroll are you on? That is something of a sore subject. My departure was involuntary, you see. I did not part ways with my employer under the best of terms. I will tell you that I work for a Christian aviator, but but you'll forgive me if I don't want to go into detail. Are you Russian? With a good air, I'm impressed. Yes, I grew up in the Nizhny Novgorod. Went to school there. Started my career there in the industrial sector. A fairly common story, I'm sure. But I've also traveled a great deal, and in so doing I have absorbed a number of other languages and dialects. Are you trying to distance yourself from your homeland? No, not at all. This is just the way that I speak. Would it make you more comfortable if I used the word da more often, referring to you as comrade, perhaps? That won't be necessary. A fair one. It is true that my travels and experiences have changed me, as I'm sure that yours have changed you. Do not take my failure to match your preconceptions as evidence that I've abandoned my heritage, my friend. We are all the products of our experiences, after all. Keeping all of this machinery running can't be cheap. How can you afford it? Freelance. At the risk of sounding immodest, I've commodified myself rather well. There are always corporations in need of design consultations. You'd be surprised by how lucrative such work can be. And there's always other work that I can turn to in a pinch. Can't you tell me what kind? A rather personal question, wouldn't you say? Maybe, but then we're having a personal conversation. Indeed we are, but even in personal conversation certain topics can be held off limits. Truth be told, I don't feel especially comfortable discussing my side work with relative strangers. Suffice it to say that my freelance activities often fall on the illicit end of the spectrum. Tell you what, I'm just going to guess, you're a Shadowrunner, aren't you? I dislike the term, but yes, I run the shadows. What gave me away? Design consultants live in apartments in Victoria Harbour, living in a rusted out boat in Hale. There's gotta be a reason for that. You are correct, of course. The residents of the shadow communities are usually either too poor to live elsewhere or engage in behaviors too illicit to risk it. I will admit to being in the latter camp. Designing robotics is my passion, but it doesn't always pay the bills. My status as a foreigner has proven something of an impediment in this regard. And so, sorry as I may be to say it, the lion's share of my income flows from Koshai's aptitude for butchery. Such is life, I suppose. We do what we must do what we love. Seems like everyone on this boat runs the shadows. Why not pool our resources and work together? Compelling offer. I'm doing quite well on my own, but I must admit that there are certain jobs for which I am unsuited. Magic eludes me, and I'm not a decker. My strength comes from material objects in the real world, solid things with mass and heft, things that I can build and operate. Sadly, a great many clients are only interested in teams that display a mastery of the intangible. Which group of yours? Do you have people who can cover those bases? If so, then perhaps we can help each other out. Yes, we have a shaman and a decker, both competent at their jobs. We also got a former security expert. In the case, I will accept your offer on a professional basis. We'll do a few runs together and see how we get on. If our association bears fruit, it will continue. If not, I will bid you my farewell and go back to working alone. How does that sound? Welcome aboard! Very good, excellent. When you receive a job, you know where to find me. My skills and resources are at your disposal. And with that, I'm afraid I must bid you good day. I still have work to do down here. The slag assembly won't clean itself. I'll be in touch. Looking forward to working with you. And I with you. You got a little friend. Cool. Okay. He's a rigger. Raptor's drone Koshai gains a plus 5% accuracy boost for all attacks. Raptor's drone Koshai gains plus 1 movement speed, moving 7 tiles per 1 AP. I see what you did there. Oh. Yep. I don't know, really. For people like you, I guess. It's on the lowest setting, I think. So let's go for move speed. Freedom of speech. And let's head back upstairs. That was a long dialogue. So I think we're gonna accept our first real job now as Shadowrunners. Your workstation and mission computer. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. A blinking message in the upper right corner notifies that you have 6 unread messages. Oh, god damn it. Welcome to Heyo. On behalf of your friends at the Heyo Chamber of Commerce and the Swift Winds Magic Parlor, I welcome you to the community of Heyo and to our new business venture. I've already lined up 3 jobs for you. The details of each are contained in a separate computer message. Remember to check your messages often, as I will update you with new opportunities as they occur. I've set up your mission computer to automatically collect and collate news reports, information and media that might be of interest to you. Some of the keywords I've got it trolling for are things like Raymond, Duncan, Walled City, etc. Burger. I've also patched in a permanent link to the Hong Kong Charlotte the Shadowlands BBS. It's a great place to connect with other runners, sell pay data, get news from the street and so on. Don't be shy about taking a look. I've been instructed to inform you of the various suppliers present in Heyo. Andi Cheng has cultivated a commercial district of well-stocked and trustworthy vendors. Whoever you choose to do business with, you'll be in good hands. Erman Cafe at Club 80 is an excellent resource for acquiring additional weapons should you require any. If you are in need of magical supplies, go to the Portal of 5 Phases. If you desire training in the path of the Adept, seek out Spider Shen. She can help you as well as supply you with any close quarters weapon that you might desire. O'Malley can supply you with cybernetic enhancements and medical supplies. The proprietor, Tenant Ambrose, is a cyber surgeon of some repute. Lost Techno Palace is a Wampoan-run supplier of the local decking community. The place is hard to miss, just look for a sign glowing in the sky. If you need drones, reliable Matthew's Robot Bazaar is your best bet, and I pity you. That's the flock in the shadows. As fresh meat, you are likely to need it. Serial killer. I've got a problem and you're going to help me solve it. I do a lot of business with the Wampoans. If you're not familiar with the term, I'll forgive you. You're an outsider after all. The Wampoans are a tribe of techno-fetishists and deckers who've taken up residence in the Wampoa Garden area of Hong Kong. They make and trade high-tech goods to people from all over the world. A lot of yen passes through their pasty little fingers and I make a lot of money brokering deals between them and the smugglers here in Heyo. If it is snack though, the Wampoan elders, their council of leaders, are being eliminated by a serial killer. They've asked me to dispatch someone to get to the bottom of it and stop the killings, and they are not taking their goods through my turf until I do. So you're going to be my proxy, dear. I don't care how you do it, but I need this murder stopped. The Wampoans have a delegate here in Heyo by the name of Maximum Law. Speak with him if you wish to know about Wampoa. He's got a big mouth, but he knows very little of importance. Don't expect much from the half-empty bottle of vinegar. You get your hands down to Wampoa Garden and talk to the elders. Lie, cheat, and steal if you have to, so long as they are convinced that there won't be any more murders. I want my cut back and I want it soon. So I can't choose them all at the same time, I guess? Artifact liberation. Welcome to the Shadows, pal. I've received a request from an archaeologist named Mr. Drake. Nathan? He's interested in liberating certain artifacts from beneath a manor house located in Taipo. I've attached a copy of the video message that he sent me. Hello, Madam Chang. I've heard that you're a woman who knows how to get things done, especially with regards to things that aren't legal in the strictest sense. That's exactly the kind of help I'm looking for. Recently, a rich investor by the name of Liu Hao decided to expand his manor house on the outskirts of Taipo. Too much money, not enough space for fancy parties. He had a snag with local government officials. However, they suspect the land his estate was built on may have been pre-modern archaeological artifacts buried beneath it, all of them dating from the Song dynasty. Consequently, I was contracted as an archaeologist to oversee the excavations and ensure everything was properly recorded and catalogued. Sure enough, we were only a few days into the excavation when we discovered a series of tombs lying beneath the site. The scope of the tombs was far beyond anything Lura or I had expected. Several acres of catacombs at least, and untouched relics throughout. What's more, they're certainly older than the Song dynasty. They may be even from the previous cycle of magic. Before I could make my report to the Free Enterprise Zone authorities, however, Lycadis and his allies in Tantine Incorporated. I sold the entire site to Tantine, who then leased it back to him, because Tantien is considered to have extraterritoriality in Hong Kong. Local authorities were powerless to stop Leo from looting the tombs. He immediately began building a museum, if you can call it that, atop the site. He had the gall to call this museum the Emperor's Tomb. Can you believe that? The odds of there being an actual emperor there are basically nil, but he doesn't care. Anything to sell a few tickets. He has continued his excavations using Tian's contractor to expand the dig. What he didn't know is that I bugged his comm link before he fired me. Based on what I've heard, something strange is going on in the lower levels. Workers have been disappearing only to be found dead several days later. Whatever is down there is too dangerous to be left in loose hands. He must have found my data line tab though. I stopped receiving any information 3 days ago. The last thing I heard him talking about were a pair of ancient texts that workers had discovered. Then he issued an order that further excavation should be halted until he can secure the subterranean areas. I'm betting those texts are the cause of whatever's killing the workers. I've quite a bit of experience with these kinds of dangerous excavations, but an operation of this scale is beyond me. I need a team that's tough enough to get in or survive, aren't afraid of making a mess, and who can get out with the books and whatever else they can carry. Beyond the two texts, I'm willing to pay very well for whatever other artifacts your team can liberate. The more valuable, the better. Don't worry, they're going to actual museums, not some rich playboy's mansion. Got a second program in place that'll suppress loose security system. The team will have to be careful though. There are only so many alarms I can suppress. Go beyond that number and I'll scrap the mission. I've included a catalog of likely items to help the team appraise the most valuable ones. They don't need to be sold. In fact, I prefer they make it look like a common robbery. Tell them to smash and grab what they can. Let me know when you find a suitable group of Shadowrunners. There you have it, a nice simple robbery. Do you think that you can handle something that basic, dear? I have faith in you. Let me know when you're ready. And there's geomantic sabotage. Geomancy is a big business in the Free Enterprise Zone. Here in Hong Kong, Feng Shui isn't just the act of rearranging your kitchen to make things look pretty. The fortunes of empires rise and fall with the ebb and flow of Qi, and sometimes that flow needs a helping hand. Wuxing Incorporated are the preeminent practitioners of large-scale Qi manipulation here in the Free Enterprise Zone. They've gone to great lengths to channel Qi from all over Hong Kong into their headquarters, an enormous monstrosity that they call the Wuxing Sky Tower. There it is focused and transformed into good fortune through the building's geomantically attuned architecture and interior decoration. Our client believes that it is time for Wuxing's good luck to run out. You are to infiltrate the Sky Tower and disrupt the flow of Qi throughout the building, but you are to do so in two distinct fashions. First, you must disrupt the Feng Shui of the offices by subtly altering the environment of that level. This will consist of minor adjustments of desks, spilled water, and other small activities that are unlikely to be noticed. Ordinarily, even subtle disturbances of this nature would be noticed. This is why the client wishes you to make a much louder demonstration of the rooftop garden. The garden is to be ransacked, utterly destroyed, set fire to things, uproot trees, that kind of thing. Our client has also specified that he would like you to destroy the large Buddhist statue in the garden, smash the thing to bits, and leave them scattered across the rooftop. This level of destruction will keep Wuxing's geomancers busy long enough that the more subtle disruptions below will take effect. In addition, it will send the kind of message our client would like Wuxing to hear. I have utmost faith in your ability to cause destruction. The more disruption you can cause on both levels of the Sky Tower, the happier the client would be. Given your own skills with magic, you should have an easy time identifying the most effective ways to disrupt the key of the building. Okay. Shadowrun BBS. 50,000 yen reward for any information leading to the capture. You will candidate to claim the reward, you're getting thrown in a hole with them. Please. Poetry slam. But a courier job next week is supposed to take me to the World City. I'm from Kuala Lumpur and I've been to Hong Kong, but I heard that place is dangerous as hell. Is there anything you should know? Oh, you got nothing to worry about. Locals housing development full of hard-working people. Okay, I've decided to cut the rest of that crap. She keeps going on about what good place the World City is and how we all need it. Don't buy any of it. It may not be hell, but you can see it from there. Even cowboys just trying to get you in trouble. Because I grew up there, you know what it's literally like. When you die in a walled city, your neighbors cheer you because they look at the clothes of your back. Ouch. Hey, data. Oh, I can post the exotic animal dealer contacts. Should I? Like some money? So which one should we start? I'm gonna go with start with the serial killer one. Take the run. Who would have thought the others are coming? They don't like outsiders and they might shoot at you if you don't warn them that you'll be arriving. Can I take this as well? Right. Alright, okay, so I can just accept them all. That's cool. Walk away. Okay. I think we're going to the transit station again. Board train. Okay, serial killer first. In addition to your team, your fixer has access to a small network of mercenaries in the Kowloon area. These runners appear below your core team on the runner selection screen and can be hired on a mission-to-mission basis. As you complete missions, both your team members and the available mercenaries will periodically gain access to new equipment and abilities. Any new items, spells, weapons, or weapon abilities that the runner gains will automatically be available for use the next time you take them on a mission. I want the Rigger, I want Decker, and I want Duncan. Street Samurai. Duncan. Travel to Whampoa Gardens. Whampoa Garden, a carnival of chrome and neon, rife with every manner of technology and artifice one can imagine. The entire area has the feel of a night market, save that chips are sold in lieu of steamed buns, and vendors hawk the latest drones rather than folk art. Something stalks the streets, hiding just out of sight. It stalks the Whampoa Outlaws, the leaders of the band of tax-heavy squatters that have claimed this neighborhood as their own. The streets smell of ozone and fear, and those Wampoans who pass in the MTR station have a haunted, furtive look in their eye. While the killer has struck only at the elders thus far, it may only be a matter of time before ordinary residents are a menace as well. Game auto-saved. Is there a word for a feeling nostalgic to a place you can't wait to leave again? I don't miss this place, but I miss the feeling I had when I lived there. That I know of. This place seemed like heaven after the world city. Like this whole world had unfurled in front of me, and anywhere I turned was a promise of a good life. Turned out this place was just as crappy as everywhere else. Everyone was feeling it for themselves. Your own life in the barren taught me anything. It's that you can't find people worth sticking with. They'll save your life. You live for each other, watch each other's back. That's about as deep as it gets for me. Perhaps then that it is enough. If it worked for you, good. Look for the Wampoa Elders. They're gonna be in the Wampoa itself. That's the big ship down the street. The mall shaped like a boat, right? That's the one. Somebody thought it would be clever to make a uniquely shaped mall. The Wampoa, what's anything else? All these neon signs. That's the drone. Let's go. This orc woman is festooned with small circuits, tiny screens and speakers. The screens display snippets of trit broadcasts from every corner of the world. The tiny speakers play counterpoint with a susurrus of voices speaking Speritial, Punjabi, Kazakh and other languages. Her expression is haggard and she fidgets with her fingers as you approach. Welcome, welcome to the Wampoa, my friend. I am Elder and these are Elders Tang and Ip. Thank you so much for answering our request for help. We had nowhere else to turn. Least I could do. We're under threat. One by one, we elders are being hunted by some monster. As you may have noticed when you arrived, there's been another killing just tonight. The prodigal daughter returned once more. I didn't expect to see you back aboard the Wampoa in my lifetime, Isabel. When you disappeared, Elder Yentunda was very put out. I'm glad she's alive. When you chose to walk your own path, I was disappointed, but I still understood why you had to leave. I hope my lessons have helped you prosper. Didn't expect to be back either. Work takes you to places, though. I don't call this a run for fun, Ep. The lessons kept me alive. Where is Shitunda anyway? I expected her to be here. She's dead. Shiragana Nakamura. And Tong was killed just tonight. So much blood. You have to stop this from continuing. That's what we're here for. We'll stop the killings. Thank you, Isabel. Can you tell me about the murders? They started 2 weeks ago. The first to go was Gan. We found him in his apartment, eviscerated. He'd been torn apart, his head had been ripped completely off and most of his skin flayed away. There was so much blood it took us a week to clean out his apartment. The rest have been the same, always at night, always dismembered. 18 is like a nightmare, and every time nobody has seen anything. It's like a ghost. What happened to Tong? Same thing that happened to the rest of the victims, evisceration and dismemberment. We sent a guard to keep people out of his shop, but he let you in. When did he die? Sometime early tonight. He'd locked up his shop, but Ip stopped by to ask him about some skill chips he had. The door was unlocked, and inside looked like a bad horror sim, just like all the other murders. It had to have happened after sundown because I saw his shop was open when I was on my way to get some noodles for dinner. Why didn't you call the police? The Hong Kong police force isn't welcome here. They've tried to force us out several times before or come hunting for someone to pin a crime on. We do a lot of favors for local gangs and triads, handle our matrix security, fix up their gear, and make sure they have access to the Hong Kong Shadowlands hub. We're too valuable a resource for them to lose, so they protect us when the HKPF or anyone else decides that we're an easy target. They handle our physical security, and we make sure to send the message via the matrix. The last time the HKPF made trouble, we started airing the assistant chief's dirty laundry over the trip. They got the picture and backed off. Made any enemies lately? Not that I can think of. We keep to ourselves. We buy and sell technology. We're not mercenaries or criminals. We're merchants and deckers. And even if someone was cheated in a deal, this kind of response is unthinkable. Whatever it is, it wasn't human. The violence and savagery. It's a monster, whatever it is. Plenty of metahumans and monsters too. Just because it's horrible doesn't mean it's supernatural. So what do? They make the rules and kick people out who don't obey them. They're a bunch of pretty tyrants, that's what. You're being unfair, Isabel. Our laws are for the good of the community. We keep the Whampoa and its residents safe. We review trade agreements with outsiders to see if they're good for the community. We provide a guiding vision like a town council. I respect that. I'm glad you understand. This community is fragile and the authorities bear us a lot of ill will. A single misstep could spell our end. I am the invoker of sprites. I commune with the spirits of machines, ask them for blessings, and pass this blessing on to the people here. I heal the sick and ensure the feng shui of our habitats is as good as it can be, given our confines. She's a shaman, that's all. She's just got some kooky spin on it, claims her totem is some kind of all-encompassing machine god that lives in circuitry. Ancient gods and ancestors are one thing. My deck? It's mine. I built it. The only spirits it's got in it are the ESPs I loaded up with. Just because you cannot see or touch a thing does not mean it does not exist. Just because you do not believe in it does not mean it does not protect you from afar. I can't touch programs either, but at least I can prove that they have an effect on the physical world. Your superstitions are just that, bullshit. This guy treats drones like they're living things. What exactly do you do, Thang? I'm the first and glorious servo. I study patterns, repair machinery, and teach others how to attune themselves to the wonders of automation. The blessed Autofab is my shop and purview, where we make the drones we use and sell. Really, what a fascinating and spiritual spin on things. I'd be interested in hearing more about your philosophy once we've done with the job. I think I may find your perspective to be very interesting. As for me, I serve as the resplendent voltage spike. That means I shoot people who try to screw at us. It's a fancy title for head of security. Okay. That's all for now. It might be wise to ask the residents of Whampoa Garden if they've seen or heard anything after we've gone to Tong's Sensory Carnival. They may have seen or heard things we have not. Good to know. Search for the killer in Whampoa Garden. Investigate Tong's Sensory Carnival. Anything else in here, maybe? No, nothing. Okay. Absolutely nothing here. The others are one and I want to go inside without permission. It was pretty bad inside. Poor lamb, at your service. The others told me that you'd be coming. They tell you about what happened to Tong? Not really, no. Frankly, I'm not surprised. I don't even know if the words can do it justice. You ever see what happens when a goat gets hit with a grenade? Does that happen a lot? I was on vacation in Cambodia a couple of years back. They still have mines from them near 100 years ago out in the backwoods, right? Unstable as hell. Some of our friends out there get drunk and use hand grenades instead of clusters of them. Load one out, take cover, watch 2 or 3 mines go up in smoke. Pretty clever actually, using explosive to clear explosives, I mean. Well, one day, I was at my friend Suwan and her brothers were working on clearing some mines. Narang lobs an airfoil the grenade into the underbrush, and a few seconds later this goat comes bouncing over, looks at the bush and says, "Bah! We had goat stew for dinner that night." That poor damn goat. What does this have to do with the song? I'll put it this way. Ah, they're about the same consistency. Ah. Tong's Sensory Carnival looks like a scene out of a B-grade slasher sim. The cloying scent of incense hangs thick and pungent in the air, emanating from the small shrine in the corner of the shop. Unfortunately, it does nothing to cover up the reek of death and clotted blood. Despite the ragged remnants of Elder Tongues littering the floor, the rest of the shop appears to be in good order. At least at first glance, nothing is broken, tipped over, or otherwise ransacked. As you're about to step further into the room, you glance at the ceiling and walls. The blood from Tong's body isn't just confined to where his remains lie, drying blood is spread about the walls and ceiling as well. Tong's body. Tong's body is a ruined mess. The destroyed ruin of his face is barely recognizable, and what is left of his body would best be described as savaged. All of his limbs have been torn off, and a pile of flayed skin lies next to the remnants of the Wampoan elder. Wampoan's clothing has all but been reduced to rags and tissue by cuts and tears, apparently sustained during the flaying. At this point, the only thing holding what's left of his body into a semblance of human form is the hair-thin fiber optics of his cyberware. Looks like someone dropped him into an industrial meat grinder almost. Except they brought the grinder with them. Who the hell kills like this? Someone with a high evolved need of ritual murder, I suspect. This manner of pathology is not seen in insane individuals. Look, parts of him are missing. Curious. Taking a deep breath, you allow your senses to expand into astral space. The colors of the room bleed away, replaced with the vibrant lights and emotions of the spirit world. Surprisingly, no emotions of fear or anger pervade the room. The abiding emotion the room is steeped in is one of the perfunctory satisfaction, as if someone had accomplished an important task. It would seem likely that Tong was surprised. If he was not, it would be certain that you would feel a lingering fear within the room. You mean he didn't see it coming? Maybe we're dealing with an assassin, not a monster. I'm cool with that. I understand assassins. Monsters, not so much. Okay, let's see what the Rector can do. Curious. No subdermal bruising where the skin's been removed, no sign of a struggle. Coagulation of the blood and lividity marks at time of death between 2 and 4 hours ago. The knife marks are methodical. The killer doesn't seem to have been interested in preserving the skin as any kind of whole. It was removed a bit like one fillets a fish, the path of least resistance. Some of the strips of skin have a more ragged edge than others. The ragged edge looks consistent with a claw rather than a blade. His neck's been severed between the 5th and 6th cervical vertebrae. Scoring across the bone indicates a bladed weapon, and a sharp one at that. Doesn't match any of the other wounds. If I had to guess, I'd say he was killed with the blow to the back of the neck. Everything else was subsequent damage. Why would someone kill him and then skin him? Honestly, I have no idea. Perhaps whatever did the rest of the damage was secondary, an action of opportunity or the like. Without further information, I'm not comfortable guessing. Okay. Let's check the wall. The walls are covered in splattered and smeared blood, most of which has hardened into a crusty congealed paste. Thick tracks of it run laterally. It looks like the blood have been deliberately smeared. Hey, I don't know a whole lot about science or all that, but I know what blood looks like when it hits a wall. This isn't natural. Somebody deliberately smeared blood all over these walls. See how it looks like it got paint trails? That's because someone used Tong's parts like a brush. So they painted his walls with blood. Why? Do I look like a psychologist to you? Maybe because they're a freak. Maybe they're one of those 6 serial killers that sees murders as art? I got no clue. All I know is what normal blood looks like on a wall, and this ain't it. Some people have a bad grasp of art. I knew this guy in Kwantung who used to make music out of stray radio static and panic button calls. Called it Crisis Wave. Open this door. Desk safe. Tong's desk drawers are open and the safe that's built into one of the sides has been opened. There's no sign of tampering and the green light next to the word unlock is blinking. Whoever opened the safe did it with a key fob. Inside are several blank credit sticks, but no sign of anything with money, with money of them. A Wampone elder with no money in his safe. My ass. Somebody cleaned him out. Probably grabbed the key fob out of his pocket. Search bathroom. Tong's bathroom is immaculate and the drains are tiny. Whatever killed him didn't exit through here. This is Yamaha 95000V SimSynth, a device for mixing and mastering SimSense chips. Several drive bays are empty and all of the chip jacks are empty. The screen is flashing a repeated error message. Warning. Requested files cannot be found. Please return drive to bay and try again. Debug. Isabel rattles out some commands on the SimSynth keyboard, stepping away after a few seconds with a look of satisfaction on her face. There. I've put the drive running on suspend. It's in diagnostic mode only though. Maybe we'll learn something, maybe not. Memory okay, drive error. Assist bus okay. Beginning core dump, please wait. Looks like Tong was cooking some BTLs in here. He's hacked peak controller output cutoffs. The delta levels on sim chips are usually about 4 to 5. 6.5 for Calhots. His delta peaks are pushing 12. That's brain burning territory. And all the drives and chips those BTLs were stored on are missing. I never liked Tong, but it wasn't because he was a bad guy. I just didn't like any of the elders, but if he was cooking chips at Delta 12, maybe he burned somebody he shouldn't have. Maybe they flipped their lid and came after him. Or a relative did. Metahuman brain can't handle this kind of output. It'll shut down after a few of these. Okay. Back to the garden. Not since I've been here, but before Ip found him, could have been anybody really. Ip had a key to his place, but the lock's total crap. Anybody half decent at cracking maglocks could have gotten inside. What's missing? His BTLs, hard drives, and crit sticks are all missing. Like the killer looted this place to me. All the stock of monsters, yeah sure. There are scary things that go bump in the night, but most of the scary bumps I hear from handguns and gangsters. What do you do? Schedule category guess, a well-filed Ip. Deputy. Okay. Zippy. Hey stranger, nice to see you. Zippy Toe Tag at your service. How are you looking, Wampoa Garden? Nice to meet you, Zippy. Nice to meet you too. Listen, I know it's a little forward of me just say hello and whatnot, but I'm interested in giving you a hand if I can. This is my home, at least for the time being, and I'd like to stop these killings. We've never met before this, but I know exactly who you are. You are my replacement. The elders had me autopsy what was left of Elder Gan and Elder Nakamura after they got ripped apart, but I didn't want to dig any deeper. So since I don't know you, and I can smell a Shadowrun a mile away, you've got to be the outsider they asked to stop the killings, right? Very astute. See, I have good eyes. A lot of good eyes, actually. If you're in the market for replacements. Only slightly used, and they only come from certified donors, I swear. Man, I kill myself. Pretty funny, you a stand-up comedian? With jokes like that? Are you kidding me? I'm one of the only trained surgeons around here. I keep the other one ponies healthy, gotta practice down the road. Blind Chen is a pretty good cyber dog, but he's basically an implant specialist and that's it. Are you up here? I did my residency back in the UCAS. Could have become a real MD too, if things hadn't gone south for unrelated reasons. I also deck a little, but I'm better at slicing skin than IC. Vampire Garden seemed a good fit for me. Must have a lot of customers. That's the chip truth. I have to charge to cover my costs and need, but it's damn near free service. There's always a waiting list, but it's good, honest work. I like helping my neighbors and the community. We all look out for each other. Somebody messes with one of us, they mess with all of us. That kind of community is rare as gold these days. How many places have an ethos like us? Not a damn corpse, that's for sure. I've lived a lot of places, done my fair share of shadowrunning, but this place is special. It's been a long time since I really felt like anywhere was a real home. Yeah, it's going a ham already here. Thanks for the heads up though. I'm sure. Yeah, I got a notification. It will be over fairly soon, I think. Still thunder and lightning though. I'm sure I'll move again, but not for a while. I'm not done with the city or its people, so it's fairly peaceful around here, for the most part. Other than these killings, we don't have much by the way of problems. We do information security for the Triads, and it makes us fairly impervious to anyone who wants to start trouble. Anyone starts something, we hit him in the Matrix while our Triad friends hit him in the meat space. Some small-time gangs have tried pushing in here before, but they backed off when they figured they weren't just picking a fight with Tang and his guys, but with both the Red Dragon and Yellow Lotus. They got the message real quick. What was left of them anyway? What do you want to know? Your thoughts on the murders? Pretty gruesome business. Gan died from a broken neck, looked like someone had wrenched it around, and his arms and legs were cut off. Some skin flied away too. Nakamura had his throat ripped out by someone with pretty sharp teeth. At first I thought it was a devil rat, but the teeth marks were all from something with a humanoid jaw. I didn't look at Yitunde. From what I saw at a distance, it was the same story. Didn't see much point, since I'd seen it twice already. As for Tong, from what Porter told me, it was Gan and Nakamura all over again. You take a look at him yet? Yep, it's the same. Damn, I like Tong. The BTL business isn't savory, but the man had to eat. And his regular sims were great. Generally, all around nice guy. Friendly with everyone, never had anyone mad at him. There ain't no justice, let me tell ya. The dude's tongue was killed by a blade. What kind of blade? Was it a knife, a sword, maybe an axe? Back of the neck. I don't like that at all. This whole affair's got me on edge. People dying is nothing new, but the flayed skin? Ugh. It sounds possible that whoever's been killing the elders is trying to muddy the waters with all of the blood and gore business. This is the crime of an intelligent, careful killer. Be careful. This investigation might take you somewhere very unpleasant. Well, they're an eclectic bunch, that's for sure. Where to start? The spiritual leader here. She's the voice of the Wampoans, I guess. A lot of her close friends are really more followers since she's something of a priest for the machine spirits. Maybe it's a cultural thing for people who grew up here, but it's never called to me. Still, she makes a damn fine pot of tea. It's the muscle, and has an encyclopedic knowledge of cyber and bioware. Definitely a good guy to have watching her back. Not too friendly, but you know how it is. You get a lot of cyber, people start wondering if you'll tear their arms off. He's got moves straight off Blood Carnival 3, The Reckoning. Terrible movie, but great fight choreography. What about Tang? I don't know much about him, but I think he's got some kind of fetish for automation. Found him cooing over some trids of automated delivery drones in a warehouse once. He works with drones, has a shop called the Blessed Autofab. He was raving about the efficiency of the movement patterns or something. You already know about Tong. Ran Sims BTL skill chips. Dan used to be a city planner before he had a nervous breakdown and got involved in statistical analysis. Nakamura came from Fukuoka. and was interested in entertainment, Trit mostly, and spent a lot of time analyzing subliminals and ads. Then there was Magpie. She was the chief decker, hard as hell against IC, and built her own hardware. Salty old woman though, never met anyone who was quite as shrill and nasty when she was mad. She was mad most of the time. Wait, nobody mentioned Magpie to me. When did she die? She didn't. Maybe a month ago she just up and disappeared. I went to her shop one day and she just wasn't open. Nobody's seen her since. Kind of a pain in the ass too. She owed me some new analyze software she picked up. I've never heard of Magpie either. She must be one of the new Wampoans. If she was the decker, she would have replaced El Gao. No surprise there, Gao was older than Kinshi in Terracotta Warriors. When I was learning decking from him, he could barely get out of bed. Still fast as hell in the Matrix though. How can you be new and an elder? It's a stupid name. It doesn't actually have much to do with time spent in a community that has something to do with it. That's something to do with it, I'm sure. But it's mostly about how skilled you are, how good your connections are, and how much you can help everybody else. Should have called them experts or something. Bingo, that's exactly it. She was only here for about 3 years, but she knew a lot of people all over the Matrix. In Shanghai, Beijing, all kinds of places. That plus her skill meant she was a shoo-in when Gao died. Why would she disappear? No idea. One day she was here, the next poof. At first I thought she was just on vacation, since she had mentioned wanting to see the Kingdom of Hawaii someday, but it didn't feel right. She would have at least told me she was leaving. It seems mighty suspicious to me. Nobody else seems to care what happened to her, probably because she pissed them all off so bad. Little odd for her to just appear. Of course it's odd. She owed me lunch too, and she was the sort of paid her debt promptly. You might want to check out their shop. It's all locked up, but the other sellers have a spare key. Couldn't hurt to look around, and even though Magpie was always butting heads with the other elders, they wouldn't have any reason to not let you in. What do you mean they were butting heads? Magpie and the others never saw eye to eye. She was contrary for the sake of it. Most of the rest had a grand vision of what they wanted this neighborhood to become. Magpie just wanted to tech. She was only an ally because they needed someone with her matrix chops. The last big argument was between her, Ip, and Nakamura. It was over something relatively trivial. I think Nakamura wanted to expand the pirate trade business into the Matrix, and she just absolutely refused. Why did she refuse? She said something about not using up valuable bandwidth for trivial entertainment bullshit. Anyway, it went from there into the rant about how she wasn't going to let Tang expand his drone business any further because it would get too much megacorp attention. They accused her of blocking them just because she could, which is probably true. Lots of screaming. What do you mean blocking them? Everybody needs some matrix skills for the businesses to run properly. There are other deckers, me, say, or Joe, Mo, but she had the infrastructure. If her project didn't interest her, she wouldn't even give them the time of day. She's real hard-headed about having her time wasted, but she figures if she's not interested in something, it has no value objectively. Kind of a major blind spot if you ask me. Sounds like she was critical. Yes, I know she was, but since she's disappeared, Errol's been running the Matrix infrastructure. He's not as good as she was, but his experience with drones makes him the best candidate. They wouldn't entrust something like that to anyone who wasn't an elder, so there you go. Get a key to Magpie's shop. Let's go see if we can get that key. Why didn't you tell me about Elder Magpie disappearing? Oh, you have. Her departure from the Wampones isn't related to your investigation. It happened before the killings began. I'm certain she just off sulking somewhere. No doubt she'll come waltzing back next month, all full of attitude that life dared to go on without asking her permission. If she does, we'll welcome her back, despite her problems with her behavior. Her skill make her extremely valuable. I've taken over maintenance of our Matrix infrastructure in her absence, but I'm nowhere near her level. The best I can do is ensure nothing breaks down until she returns. Yes, but there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there, including our community service. We don't let anyone... Charisma. Check. Very well. Take the key and look around. Just don't break any anything or shut the servers off. Okay, so we have a lot of people to talk about here now, to talk with now, but we're gonna do that next time. Because I have another day tomorrow. So I will see you, hopefully, next time. So thanks for watching again. Oh, okay. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.